Hey, welcome. So, if you're someone who manages commercial spaces, you know the deal. Any interior upgrade project, it really lives and dies by its timeline. Today, we are going to master the mural installation schedule. We're going to turn it from a source of major stress into a tool for predictable, seamless execution. Okay, let's dive right in. You know, this is the question that probably keeps a lot of facilities managers and brand directors up at night. You've got the vision, you've got the budget, and you have a hard deadline for when that space needs to be up and running. So, why do so many projects just get completely derailed by delays, miscommunication, and all these unforeseen issues? It's because in a professional setting, time is everything. A delay isn't just some minor inconvenience. No, it directly impacts your operations, it threatens your occupancy dates, and it can absolutely blow up the budget. So the bottom line is this. Getting the timeline right isn't just about logistics, it's a core business function. All right, to get us there, we've broken this explainer down into 5 clear sections. We'll kick things off by framing the stakes. Then we'll compare the old ways versus the new, walk step by step through a professional timeline, cover how to prevent those common delays, and then wrap up by looking at how to scale your vision for bigger projects. Okay, first up, let's really hammer this core idea home. When you're managing a corporate office or a healthcare facility or even a retail chain, every single hour of downtime has a real cost attached to it. So your ability to get an interior upgrade done quickly and without causing a huge disruption is a massive, massive competitive advantage. So how do you actually get that advantage? Well, it really all comes down to the installation method you choose. That is the single biggest variable that's going to determine whether your schedule is predictable or just plain chaotic. Let's see how the two approaches really stack up. Okay, what's really fascinating here is the sheer contrast in risk. On the one hand, you've got the traditional stuff like vinyl wraps. Sure, we all know them, but they come absolutely loaded with variables. You've got shipping delays, panels getting damaged, and all the on-site headaches like bubbling or seeing those ugly seams. But then you look at modern direct-to-wall printing, and it just eliminates the riskiest steps altogether. There's no panel to make, there's no freight to worry about. This just shows you how to build certainty right into your process from the get-go. And that brings us to the real heart of this explainer, the actual professional-grade timeline. Look, this isn't guesswork. This is a proven, step-by-step system, and it's designed specifically for commercial spaces where predictability is everything. Let's break this down. Discovery is fast. We're just defining the goals. The site survey confirms all the measurements and checks out the wall conditions. Now, the artwork and approvals phase, that's often the longest part, right? Because you've got multiple stakeholders. But it's manageable. Then you've got prep, and finally, the installation itself, which is typically just a single day. You see how each stage just builds logically on the last one? And let's just zoom in on that installation day for a second. For a standard feature wall, the actual time on site, from setup to sign-off, is often less than 5 hours. Think about what that really means. Minimal disruption, no crews hanging around for days, the space is transformed and ready to use almost immediately. It's a game changer. Now, here is a piece of expert advice that will save you a world of pain. Surface readiness. You can have everything else planned down to the minute, but if that wall isn't ready, the entire project just grinds to a halt. And the number one culprit? Fresh paint. It needs a full 7 to 14 days to properly cure before you can even think about printing on it. Getting this right is absolutely non-negotiable. So, knowing the timeline is one thing, but protecting it is a whole other story. In this section, we're going to shift from planning to proactive problem solving. We'll look at the common blockers that can derail your projects and, more importantly, how to get way ahead of them. And here it is, the pro tip that really drives this whole section. True professionals don't just react to problems as they happen, they anticipate them. Your goal should be to find and resolve any potential issues long before the installation team ever sets foot on site. So what exactly should you be looking for? Well, think of this slide as your pre-flight checklist. Is the artwork actually truly print-ready? Are you getting your approvals done in parallel instead of one after another? Have you talked to building security and cleared out all the furniture and obstructions? Seriously, addressing each of these points early is the secret to a smooth, stress-free installation day. So far, we've really been talking about a single project. But what happens when you're managing a big brand rollout across dozens, maybe even hundreds of locations? Well, the challenge shifts from logistics to pure orchestration. So let's look at a framework that can actually scale. This is how you execute at scale without losing your mind. You start with a pilot project to perfect the process. Then you standardize all your assets so every single location is perfectly consistent. You use remote surveys to pre-assess every single wall. After that, you sequence the installations by region for efficiency and you coordinate all the approvals from one central point. This is how you deliver a consistent, powerful brand experience everywhere. Let's end with this thought right here. The goal of all this planning, all this prep, is to fundamentally change your relationship with the project timeline. It shouldn't be this thing you're constantly fighting against. With the right method and a truly professional process, it becomes your most reliable tool. So I'll just leave you with this one question to think about for your own projects. Is your current process really built for predictability, or are you just leaving too many things to chance? Thanks for watching.